Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Home Media Reviews. We're going to be talking about the movie Good Boys today, and this is a movie that nobody guessed was going to be covered in this season of HMR. I had a lot of people trying to guess what was going to be covered in this comedy-focused season, and a lot of the guesses were correct, but I never saw anyone guess Good Boys, which is surprising because Hope and I talk about Good Boys quite a bit, or at least we have in the past over on our live streams. It's her favorite movie, and I'm here to tell you why. Let's go ahead and jump into the history section of Good Boys. So Good Boys hit theaters on August 16th, 2019. On a budget of $20 million, the film made $111.2 million at the box office. Quite a profit there, especially if you go by the normal Hollywood accounting rules. You have to double your budget to account for marketing. Even at an overall cost of $40 million, this still made a pretty good profit. Hope and I saw Good Boys in theaters. We hadn't been dating very long at that point. The movie hit on August 16th. We didn't start dating until about a month later. I think we saw it at like a little rinky-dink theater at a smaller town just outside of where we both lived at the time. We both really enjoyed it. I thought the movie was friggin' spectacular the first time I saw it. So why don't we go ahead and jump into the extra long history of Good Boys on home video. I'm kidding, this history section is extraordinarily short. So Good Boys hit Blu-ray and DVD on November 12th, 2019. No 4K release for this. No way in hell Universal was giving this a 4K. Universal has never been a huge champion of the 4K format with a lot of their newer stuff. If their movies aren't a huge hit in theaters, and I'm talking like a gigantic hit, not like a smaller hit like this film was, it genuinely won't get a 4K release. They pulled this same shit with The Black Phone, Cocaine Bear, Renfield, and that was all later on past 2019. That was like 2021, 2022, 23 time period. Not even a fun special edition steelbook or anything like that, just a Blu-ray and a DVD. And they share poster art, so you could see this as kind of lazy. That wraps things up for your history section. Let's go ahead and move right along to the close-up. Alright everyone, here's your close-up look at Good Boys. Starting off here at the top, Blu-ray plus DVD plus digital code. And then this little tagline here from the guys who brought you Superbad, Neighbors, and Sausage Party. And then there's the film's logo, Good Boys. Louis, do you like Good Boys? Have you seen this movie? You are way too young to watch. It says here, you must be this tall to see this movie. And then there's our three main characters down there, as well as my lovable scamp of a second-born son. I have a feeling you guys are going to be seeing a lot of him throughout these last couple close-ups throughout this last season of HMR. And underneath that, giant R rating, so you're not confused if you want to buy this for a kid. This is definitely an R-rated film, basically because of the language and subject. So moving on to the spine, we got the Blu-ray disc logo and the DVD logo. The film's title again, the Universal logo, as well as a product number. In the back features a quote about a review from the film, certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. There's the drone from the film, and then there's our three main characters again piloting said drone. I like how it's like paper cutouts of all of our characters. That's nice too. And we've got some screenshots from the film, as well as quotes from said screenshots. If you haven't seen this, these make no sense. But like, how many husbands does she have? That should intrigue you into watching the film if you haven't seen it yet. We've got a blurb about the movie. There's your special features. Outrageous, unrated bonus features, I should say. And we've got a breakdown of how your digital movie code works, legalese, and all that fun stuff down at the bottom. Slipcover comes off. Underneath, the poster art, exactly the same. The spine art, the same. The back art, the same. Except now we have room for cast and crew information. And here's some technical specifications. Open her up. The DVD and the Blu-ray look exactly the same. They're both red, except the DVD says DVD on it. And the Blu-ray disc has that little Blu-ray thigh logo down there at the bottom. Kind of lazy if you ask me. So that wraps things up for your close-up. Let's move right along to the menu tour. Alright folks, here's your menu tour for Good Boys. Starting off with the DVD. It looks like a Blu-ray menu though, doesn't it? Trust me though, when you get up close and personal, this thing looks crusty. So we've got play, chapters, and setup, and then the classic universal trope now of putting the bonus features over in their own tab, and you can watch little clips from the bonus content. So hey, why don't we go ahead and take a look at the bonus content here. We have an alternate ending, we have deleted and extended scenes, featurette called Boys for Real, got a gag reel, Welcome to Vancouver, A Fine Line, Ask Your Parents, Bad Girls, guest stars, and a feature commentary from the director Gene Stupnitsky. I think so you pronounce that. Oh, and also producer Lee Eisenberg. If I'm not mistaken, I think all the bonus features from the Blu-ray are here on the DVD, which is kind of astounding. So here are your chapters. Each chapter has a number and a screenshot from the film. If we scroll all the way to the bottom here, we've got 20 scenes, 19 if you don't count the credits. And now here in the setup menu for audio, we have an English 5.1 mix, Spanish 5.1, French 5.1, as well as a descriptive video service. I feel like blind people can use that, and the thing will describe what's happening on screen as the movie is playing. You can also select the feature commentary from this menu. And for subtitles, we have English, Spanish, and French. Okay, and now here's your Blu-ray menu. Looks exactly the same, doesn't it? Except now we have a tab for the bonus content. We'll take a look at that last, though. We'll go in reverse order this time. For chapters, it looks like the same amount of chapters as on the DVD. I'm correct in assuming that. For setup, looks like none of the audio options are different. Not even a 7.1 mix for English, huh? Only 5.1. That's kind of disappointing. I mean, I'm not saying I should have got Dolby Atmos or something for the movie Good Boys, but 7.1 maybe? Yeah, nothing's different for subtitles either. And I'm going to assume that there isn't anything different for the bonus content. There's your alternate ending, deleted and extended scenes, Boys for Real, got the gag reel, Welcome to Vancouver, A Fine Line, Ask Your Parents, Bad Girls, guest stars, and the feature commentary. There's no difference between the DVD and the Blu-ray. I guess that's a good thing if you're a DVD-only person, but if you're a Blu-ray guy like myself, I feel kind of disappointed by that. I mean, not even a better audio option. Just standard 5.1, which you can get on DVDs nowadays. I don't understand why they didn't spring for a 7.1 mix for this. But that wraps things up for the menu tour. Let's go ahead and head on back and answer the 5 main questions as always. Alright, so we're back from the close-up. Now it's time to answer the 5 main questions as always. Number 1, where can you pick this product up? This thing was on store shelves for like a week, and it vanished like a fart in the wind. It was out, they sold the copies that they had, and then Universal just never made any more. I haven't seen this on store shelves since 2019, so it's been quite a minute since this was available in big box retail stores. I'd even say that it's kind of hard to find in thrift stores, like half-price books and stuff, because I don't think the movie sold very well on home video. It might have sold well through digital platforms like Vudu, but as far as Blu-ray goes, I don't think a lot of people actually bought this movie. I'm going to go ahead and say you can find it on online retailers, eBay, Amazon maybe. I mean, of course Amazon will have it. Amazon has everything. Number 2, is this product still being printed nowadays? You're funny for asking that. No, it's not. Number 3, should you pick this product up? Not 2 minutes into the movie and we already get a masturbation joke with the online video game. However, I have beef with this joke. You can't game on a Mac. That thing would shit itself into oblivion if you ever attempted to run something more intense than, like, I don't know, Minesweeper or something. Okay, I might be exaggerating a little bit here. Macs have made some strides in the realm of gaming in the last couple of years, but they're still worlds behind Windows. We're gonna sip a beer. Why are kids always so interested in alcohol? It's not all that it's cracked up to be, guys. Beer tastes like ass the first couple times that you drink it, and it takes a while to find one that you really like. Just so we can set the record straight here, I prefer kind of a light beer like a Coors Light or a Miller Lite. I've found that I do really like a darker ale every now and then. How about Twinkle Twinkle Little Bitch? That's basically what the humor boils down to throughout most of the film. Kids say bad words, and it's funny because kids shouldn't be saying bad words. I'm talking like I didn't laugh at the majority of the lines said by these kids. We're going to talk about a few more of them here throughout the review, but that is the majority of the film's humor. Jacob Tremblay plays Max, one of the main characters in the film, and he's pretty good. All the kid actors are. Brady Noon as Thor, and Keith L. Williams plays Locus. I don't think there's any loose ends here. I think all these kids are really well cast. Character arcs don't really become a thing until the movie is close to being over, and the only one who really has an arc here is Max. Although I guess you could argue Lucas kind of has one. He goes through an arc where he learns to accept his parents' divorce, but that storyline is played a lot for laughs. Max's storyline actually has a couple of serious moments. Why do Thor's parents have a ultra-realistic CPR doll? That thing is medical grade. Thousands of dollars went into making that thing, and it probably cost thousands of dollars. Why the hell do they have that? Let's talk about one aspect of this movie that doesn't work for me, and that's Benji. He feels like a random addition here. His purpose is to sell drugs to the boys later, and that could have been accomplished by anyone. His performance is pretty odd, too. I feel like he's trying to play it awkward, but it comes off as him having no clue how to act. We'll tell everyone that you're a misogynist. I've never massaged anyone. One of the best lines in the movie, followed closely by, just give us the fucking Molly. I can't tell you how often Hope and I quote that to each other. There's this organization in the movie called SCAB, and I believe it stands for the Student Coalition Against Bullying. This organization feels a lot like the Safety Patrol when I was in elementary school. Did you guys have the Safety Patrol when you guys were that young? Nobody liked the Safety Patrol. The small amount of power that those kids had went right to their heads. They were huge jerks. Through really dumb kid logic, Max crashes his dad's drone into a school bus, which I feel would warrant a large investigation by the school district for destruction of school property, but that's besides the point. They have to sell their super rare Magic the Gathering card to cover the cost of a new drone, and more sex humor follows. Anal beads, aka nunchucks, motherfuckers. I shouldn't laugh this hard at an anal beads joke. Or Max wearing that gimp mask, but dude, I can't help it. Thor whacks himself in the head with those things. It's hilarious. Pretty fun chase sequence with one of the older girls played by Dory Francis doing her best Tom Cruise impression. It does end with Lucas's arm getting dislocated, and I'm sorry, but that dislocated arm effect, that did not work at all. That looks even less than fake. $20 million and you guys couldn't buy a better effect than that? We've made it to the mall after a very humorous encounter with a police officer, but they've got to cross moving traffic. A highway where cars are barely moving in the middle of the workday? They must be on the gene here in Kentucky. Everybody knows that you meet your best friends in kindergarten. That small scene in the back of the girl's car really hits you when you're an adult. When you're that young, you don't realize that you really are friends with most people because of circumstance. Hey, this guy's in my class, he's my best friend, or hey, my parents know this guy's parents and we hang out all the time because my parents are friends. Yeah, he's my best friend now. You think that these friendships will last a lifetime, but the truth is, situational friendships don't hold up. I can't think of a single person that I met when I was in 6th grade that I still talk to today. My high school friend group that I hung out with for 4 years, we had a bunch of logs that we shot together for my channel back when I was in high school. That group has completely disbanded since we graduated. Life goes on. You won't stay close with everyone, and it's an unfortunate reality that everyone has to face. Okay, not trying to get real serious with you during a review of a comedy film. Let's jump back into the movie. Love that the drug buying scene in the frat house turns into a John Wick style shootout with the paintball gun. Max is definitely going to grow up to be some kind of sniper with that kind of aim. I will always love you because you're my son, but I no longer like you. Damn, Will Forte, lay off, man. That's no way to talk to your son. Your kids are going to screw up. That's inevitable, but you shouldn't overdo it with all of this emotional manipulation, man. I don't know why that affected me so much watching it this time. The first time I saw it in theaters, I probably thought it was funny, but now that whole scene where Will Forte is scolding Max just feels really, really out of place. The boys finally do end up going to their kissing party. That's been the whole motivation behind this entire movie. The boys want to go to a kissing party. Well, Max wants to go to a kissing party, and he wants to bring his entourage. The Beanbag Boys. And we get a return of the anal beads. Lowbrow humor, I understand it, but I lose it every time I hear, they're anal. Ooh, fancy. It is a sad moment when Thor and Max realize that the Beanbag Boys are officially over. Usually you don't even realize your friend group was broken up until after it's happened. At least from my experience with my high school friend group, we all just kind of casually drifted off from each other. We didn't all sit down and say, hey, let's go ahead and not talk to each other ever again. The montage at the end of the movie was really nice, showing where everyone ends up after the group disbands. I love that the montage only takes place over a month. The movie makes you think that it goes on for way longer than that. Not only is it funny, but it's accurate to how time moves when you're that young. I can't really explain it, but when I was around, 9, 10, 11 years old, I swear time moved slower. It felt like Christmas would never come. When January rolled around, it felt like, Christmas. It's a whole year away. And now that I'm 26, January rolls around, it's like, oh, damn, Christmas is like in a week. When you get to be an adult, nothing slows down. You never get a break. These guys are acting like it's been years since they've seen each other. And we end the movie on a sex swing joke. Thor's parents are into some crazy stuff, man. That swing is for sexing? People do sex on it. Good Boys is the epitome of lowbrow humor. And I really appreciate the movie for that. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the movie is actually kind of accurate to how a lot of 6th graders see themselves. I tried to be this edgy and cool when I was that young. I thought it was fun to say, bad words when I was that young, because it makes you feel more adult. I don't agree with the criticism of this being kind of cringe humor. I think it's just lowbrow comedy that I can't help but laugh at every time I watch it. There's a somewhat satisfying character arc with Max slowly becoming a man. He goes through 3 relationships in the movie. Come on. Yeah, they only lasted about a week each, but that changes you. There's really funny interactions between all 3 of the Beanbag Boys. They've got great chemistry, and I really think that the movie was lightning in a bottle. So in a way, I'm kind of grateful the movie didn't overperform at the box office. It made a decent profit, but it didn't make enough to justify a sequel. And I'm glad we didn't get one because it would ruin the legacy of this movie. Which this movie doesn't really have a legacy. It's kind of been mostly forgotten. And that's a shame because I think it's really good. This to me is like a Talladega Nights kind of movie. Just absolutely stupid lines and really dumb characters, but they're likable. In case it wasn't obvious enough, yes, I recommend Good Boys. Number 4, where should you pick this product up? Same answers as number 1. And number 5, what price should you pay? Well, this Blu-ray is not worth very much. I believe I saw it over on Amazon listed at like $6 or something. That's a smoking deal. You should definitely grab it on there if you can. If you have any interest in seeing it. The DVD's even cheaper. It's listed for about like $5 on like eBay and stuff. So I definitely go for either or. All right, folks. Well, that wraps things up here for the Good Boys HMR. I am very happy I got to cover this for the show. I really enjoyed this movie. I'm shocked at how much I enjoyed it after watching it this time. I really enjoy Good Boys. I think it's a funny comedy, and I enjoy it every time I watch it. It's one of those movies that you can put on at any point, and I'll watch it from any point. If I still, watched cable, and this came on cable at some point, like during the middle of the movie, I'd stay and watch the rest of it. I have cable, I just don't really use it all that much. It's nice to have, though, for football games. Alright, so next week is the elusive 117th episode of Home Media Reviews. It's a big milestone, and I'm sure all of you are wondering what it's gonna be on. I put a lot of thought into what movie I was going to choose for the 117th episode of Home Media Reviews. It took a long time, took some soul searching. I had to go climb up to the top of a mountain to be able to clear my head enough to finally make a choice about what movie we're going to be talking about next week. And that movie is... fucking phone. And that movie is... Hey, what happened to the lights? Where's the background? Why'd the screen go black? Dave? Dave, did you forget to pay the electric bill again? I understand that you were in the hospital for that proctology accident, but that's no excuse not to pay the electric bill.